It's our original name. It's based off of a play on the word Project A-Kon, an old anime out of, say, 88, 89. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a historian. Actually, the historian is such a historian that he didn't have his flash drive with his paper in his presentation. Well, I did lie out my butt, so maybe I shouldn't say stuff like that. But that's where our name comes from. Most people call us A-Kon nowadays, but has anyone in here ever heard of A-Kon before? Who's been to A-Kon before? Why are you in this panel? No, that's fine. If you guys have any questions at all, my name is David Dowd, and I'm actually the division head for gaming at A-Kon. So I know a little bit more than I should about certain things, but I only care about the gaming part. So. But A-Kon is the country's longest running anime convention. We'd love to talk about that because if you notice, Anime Expo used to go by what year they were, and now they just go by the year it is. So it's not like AX 2013 or whatever, because I think we're at least a year or two older than them. So it's not a big thing, but it's a fun little. Of course, technically, Anime Expo is much larger than us, but we're pretty large too. We're and don't quote me on this, none of this will be on a test, but I believe we're the 5th largest anime show in the country, which is doing good because technically Anime Expo is cheating because they're one of the largest population centers in the world, and Otakon is the second one. You have the biggest population centers on the east and west coast. So our numbers are pretty good. We did about 22,000 last year, and we usually have about 10 to 15% growth. And like I said, why do I keep quoting numbers if I'm not 100% sure anyways? I'm sure that's not why you guys go out. You guys go out to have fun, I'm assuming. What's the big thing you guys all come out to A-Kon for?
Say again, sorry. What did you say?
I'm sorry. What are you coming out to A-Kon for? Shopping.
Meet friends. Meet your friends. Take pictures.
I like talking to the voice actors. Voice acting is one of the things that I'm really interested in, not just in anime, but just in animation.
Voice acting to the other panels, the panels of the guests.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just industry guests are always on.
That's cool. And I know we have such a wide variety. I'm only looking at this because the voice actor list is pretty long, and so is the industry list, because we have folks from so many ends of it. The voice acting, the production, the art, the writing. So there's a lot of it. How many of you mean that? How many of you have been to the gaming part then?
I can't. Not for years. I like games, but I'm terrible at them, so I don't really know.
Well, we have casual play. And it's not just, we got hardcore, I gotta kill everyone in Halo and teabag them, and I really gotta stop talking like that. There's Munchkin and Magic, and all the European board games are great, like the Ticket to Ride, building the railroad games, those are very interesting. If you guys have any specific questions about A-Kon, feel free to ask, because as you can see, I'm just gonna wander all over the map here, so. Let's see, A-Kon was formed in 1989. I don't know if I should talk about that, because we started out really, it was a tape swapping. Because back in the old days, we didn't have online piracy, because we didn't have online. I mean, we had dial-up, but you really aren't going to get an episode of anything dialed up. So we had these little black boxes called VHS. And we would copy them from one to the other, but sometimes you wouldn't get the original or the close to the original. You'd have like what was called a 5th or 6th generation copy of a copy of a copy, and you couldn't see anything on that. So you'd basically be looking at this tablecloth. And that's how A-Kon really started. It was just a bunch of friends. Hey, we want to swap our anime, and we didn't know when to stop. It's just organically grown over the years. Pretty amazing considering, where we are. We're in the buckle of the Bible Belt. I'm not saying that's a bad thing or a good thing, but I think everyone can admit that anime is pretty interesting and eclectic. And did you all know this year's our 24th, so what does that mean next year's? See a little math question there. We're pretty excited about that because shoot, some of the sci-fi shows. Because back in the day, even though I was having an argument, it was only really late 70s. It was just comic book shows and the Star Trek and sci-fi shows. And those kind of took a hit a few years back. I don't know. They're coming back though. Like Doctor Who. I'm surprised. Doctor Who conventions all over the place, but we've been able to weather that blood through the years. There was one year we called A-Kon without lights. It was.
I remember that one.
Yes, A-Kon 9.
In a Harvey Hotel.
Yes.
I remember the roads being all shut down. I had to wind through the neighborhood just to get to the hotel because I was commuting.
Really? I would have stayed.
It was a bad start.
Oh yeah, it was. We saw the funnel cloud down the street, and I remember me and a friend of mine. Because for those who don't know how the old Harvey Hotel is built, its main foyer has a mezzanine area for the second windows, and there's a staircase going up there, and it's in the air. And they have this huge wall of glass, so you can see outside and get light. So me and this friend, we were just drafted and go, oh, storm's coming, don't let anyone on the stairs, because if the glass breaks, it's going to be torrential. And we're like, but we're standing next to the glass. And that was A-Kon 9. And A-Kon 10, we gave out a bunch of flashlights. They were little clip pin ones, but that's one.
So where was this?
This was in actually Addison, Texas. It's, I forget what it's called now. Have you guys ever heard of A-Kon? Well, A-Kon's been there a couple of times. It was there this year, actually.
Nightmare Nights is going to be there.
Oh, is that where they're going?
Same hotel, different name now.
Yeah, I forget what it is too. It hasn't been a Harvey in years. There's actually been several Harveys we've been in that aren't called Harvey anymore. I don't know if it's our fault. Shoot, I can't even remember all the ones we've been in because we've been at the Harvey. There was the year of the 2 hotels.
I remember that.
That was off the 635 in Coit. And that's funny now because that second hotel is now a senior living center.
The nice thing about that was that you got a lot of people outside in the middle of the day, so you got great lighting on the people outside.
Yeah, but you also have people in 100 pounds of fabric in the middle of June.
Oh yeah, it was miserable just to try to be like before.
And then there was a couple of years in the airport. That was an interesting one. Because, put it in historical context, we were there before 9/11 and after, so.
Wasn't there no wooden swords or something?
There was a lot of stuff that you got, because before, you could go across, and that was where all the food was at. Let's be honest, hotel food was not cheap. But I will say this year, and I'll get into our new hotel about the new stuff. We had to go into the concourse because that's where all your Mickey D's and all that stuff was. The year before that, you could walk in there and get their phone. I remember one year, that same year, also you could get to the roof on. We got up to the roof and we were staring at the air traffic control tower, all like, ah. And then the year after that, we couldn't go. There was National Guard was out. I don't think they were still there. So I went to Japan actually in October 2011. They had National Guard there too, or then, but yeah, you couldn't go. It was totally locked off unless you had a boarding pass and all. In the hotel, you couldn't have certain weaponry. And we do have a pretty stringent weapon policy ourselves because it's just safer that way. But it was kind of always, kind of back in our minds that how things have changed. But then we moved over to the Adams Mark, which is now the Harvey, which if anyone's been in the past 10 years, can we also then kind of co-opted what was called the Marriott and the Westin, which is where all the gaming stuff went. I spent years actually trying to educate people. We even faked a rebellion one year where we kidnapped some voice actors in the con chair. And then we got a little scared because we would have them, kicking and screaming as we dragged them through. No one stopped us. And we realized we can kidnap somebody in the middle of the show and no one cared. Like literally, this one girl, she was dressed up like one of the girls from Bleach. And so she had the sandals on, and she was kicking so hard, she flew one off, right? And so, what the passerby did? Went by, picked up the flip-flop and go, oh, you dropped this, ma'am. And then let us continue on our way. And we're like, okay, yeah. Maybe they're really good at theater and they know what we're doing. But sadly, we've just gotten too big for the Sheraton and the Westin now. So we've actually now moved to the Hilton Anaheim. It's double the space, and if any of you have ever been to QuakeCon is where the entirety of QuakeCon is basically just where our dealers and Reg and our staff is going to be at. We're going to have the rest of the hotel to that for all of the other activities. And even are any of you familiar with the ball jointed, the dolls things, the dolphins? We have enough space they get from. Everyone. Yeah, Dolly. Yeah, no, everyone gets their own space. Like the Sleeping Samurai, the folks that teach you about the more traditional sword play, they get their own. That's how much space we have. And also an interesting backstory to it. The Anatole building is owned by the family of Trammell Crow. Trammell Crow, for anyone who doesn't know Dallas history, he's big into real estate. His family is, and so a lot of the land's owned. That's how he has the building. But he was an ambassador in the U.S. for years. He was the ambassador to Asia often, and so he has so many pieces of art. And obviously, you can't put that much art in your house, so he puts it into the Hilton Anaheim. So there are thousands of years old pieces of Chinese art and Asian art in the building. And so it's so much so that our scavenger hunt is going to be based around finding all of this art, which is really, we're a little nervous because it's expensive. So everyone, please be nice. We want to be invited back, so no playing anything. And then there's some non-Japanese stuff, like there's a propeller in the Lusitania sitting there out there in the park. Yeah, there's a park there. There's a koi pond. There's a full section of the Berlin Wall there as well. And of course, my
The Pro Museum of Asian Arts are
yes, it is. That's where some of the pieces get switched out.
Priceless historical artifacts.
Yeah, priceless. Yeah.
Would you know if there's
Last I heard, the thing keeps changing. Last I heard is all doubles were sold. So in theory, King should be available, but they could have sold out while I was sitting here. So I know the suites are free, not free to buy, but free to get. No, the suites are opposite of free, but they are very, very, very nice. Very expensive, very, very nice. Well, if you want the super ones, like the presidential ones, like they have a Reagan one and they have a Mary Kay one. If you're a girl and you're into the pink, or I'm sorry, anyone if you're into the pink, Mary Kay one. Woo! I got cavities just looking at the thing. But even the regular guest rooms are pretty nice. They're all pretty swanky, and even I forget how it works out, but a lot of the King's rooms still come with a folding bed couch. But we have 2 overflow hotels now, and so I know their sister hotel, the Hilton. Well, they're both Hiltons, but there's a Hilton Garden Inn or something similar to what this place is called. It's next door. It's not one of our overflow. Why am I talking about that? And anyone have any questions? Yeah.
How further away is it from the old site?
How further away from it? Adams Market is squarely downtown. We're a good 10 miles away or so. You can get there on the train though. It's on there's the Market Hall train, or We have it on the website, but you can take the train. It's on the other side of the interstate. What we're talking about
Is it
maybe
North
something.
Dallas? Is it North Dallas?
No, it's still Dallas. Are any of you familiar with medieval times? We're a block away from that. I wouldn't suggest there to go for your meals every night. But if you want to treat yourself, you can. And you had a question, Matt?
Oh, I was going to say, like, how is the size and maybe the placement of the rooms different?
How's
The size of the spaces and the placement of the rooms, how is that different?
you mean the hotel rooms or the events?
The event.
Well, the events is, there's going to be some walking. We actually, not bad walking, but we anticipate that there will be some confusion being the first year is going to be first year for everybody.
Because I'm used to the other hotel, I know where everything is.
No, it's pretty extensive. There's technically, because I don't have a map in front of me, but all the way on their west wing, they have a west wing of rooms. They have a park with a jogging track, a pool, and a spa area. And then all the way back there is a convention area for the dealer's room, the registration, and whiteboard. I can draw it, but very badly. And artist alley and all that. And then there's a little parking area where the food trucks are going to be, and that's just 1/3 of the building so far. Then you move over, and then there's the main tower of rooms, and that's where main programming is going to be in a lot of the panels and such. And then you move over what they call the atrium, which is actually in 2 sections. That's where all the other hotel rooms are at, and there'd be more video rooms over there. The maid cafe is like. If you go from the maid cafe all the way over to the dealer's room, that's as far as you can go in that show. It's a decent little walk. It's going to be learning. We have an app we're developing. I would suggest going online and definitely look at the map. Because there's going to be things on multiple floors all over the place. So.
How many floors are we going to be spread out? How many floors is the event going to be spread out?
Most of it is bottom floor, but they put... Like, for me, it's a headache because all of my gaming stuff is in the West Wing. And then which is past the Center Hotel I was talking about. Then you go all the way to the atrium. And on the 3rd floor, they used to have a tennis court there. They turned that into a ballroom. And that's where we're putting all the consoles in. So we're kind of from 3rd to 1st floor. Anything beyond that is possibly going to be rooms. They don't have anything convention-wise that far. But even past where the console beam is where there's the meetup rooms for like the Sailor Moon or any meetups, and that's where the maid cafe is, so they're all going to be back in there. So it's just a sprawling complex. But don't let it be intimidating. Just like I said, it's going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of things, and it's a very beautiful place too. So.
We're just being a sensitive, controversial topic. How's the elevator situation?
We have a lot more elevators. Since there's a lot more.
Central tower with 2 elevators.
I know, I kept trying to convince them to put down tape lines and say if you're going from these floors to these floors, get in this line and this elevator.
Yeah.
They were like, it's not necessary.
Officials, well, we haven't announced it, but I believe security is going to say no. We're going to see if they can play nice for once. Because the Central Tower has a bank of like 6. And that's where a lot of rooms are at. But then you have multiple elevators and stairs for the 2 atrium things. So we don't foresee an issue, but it's a new hotel, so we can't guess anything.
Does this hotel, you mentioned QuakeCon, that have a lot of convention events there where a lot of people go in there to release the
Yes, they've had some pretty decent things there. I know they have some major supporting organizations like the NBA or certain folks who have been out there. I'm not a sports guy, but I remember them in the past. QuakeCon's been there. They're familiar with big events, so they've never dealt with A-Kon yet. We've had to educate them a lot on things. That's why they're trying to, I know food's an issue, and that's one thing you'll find out is in the area, there's not much food options in the area, but we're talking to them and they're trying to make affordable locations and food. I know, they're trying to make a Texas State Fair sort of area. You can go in and actually buy coupons and get, some corn dogs or funnel cakes or whatever. Still working that out, but
Yeah, we went to the old hotels, occasionally there'd be like 2 or 3 food trucks, and there's like a food truck court that week.
Yeah, we're definitely, they test the food trucks with quite fun actually. So they know it works. Food trucks love us because with many people, we have some on 23, and some of them came out from mini A-Kon. They're all like, yeah, we want hungry people stuck in the same place. So, yes, sir.
The Anime Fest used to cater all kinds of stuff over at they go to the old A-Kon place now. I didn't see them do it that time.
Do what?
Catering, we buy food from the hotel.
Oh yeah, I know specifically with the Sheridan, they just got out of it. They didn't want to do it anymore. That's why A-Kon 23, you got Genghis Grill or Domino's and such. They just, subleased it or whatever. Because it is intensive. Your banquet staff is not prepared for stuff like that. But it is money. We would always argue that, there's money in hand. And also, for food is because they cannot provide it, we provide Japanese cultural food and such. I mean, you're not going to get a full, sushi bar or anything, but you can get some crepes and bentos, some decent stuff. Do you have anyone else have any questions? I thought I saw you. You're welcome. Anyways. Yes.
You might have said this and I might have missed it, sorry. I zoned out for a second when you were talking about the rooms. Are the room prices much different than they were before? Just the regular rooms, even it doesn't matter.
They're discounted to a point. And that becomes a trick, because I know we've had some questions about the pricing. And everyone forgets that it's in Dallas. So rooms in Dallas are cheaper than, say, Louisville. Or, and they're definitely cheaper. There's definitely going to be a difference than you go down to the Motel 8. And other things is also their seasons. The summer season, because of vacations and all that, their prices are a little bit different than if you come in the middle of winter when people don't predominantly travel. But they give us a cut based on what it is. And that's the hard thing we have to explain to people. It's like, yeah, it used to be cheaper back in the old days. We were in a smaller hotel with smaller expectations and so forth. So
Inflation too.
Yeah, and inflation. And we end up giving it, hotel economics class. But we understand. That's why we keep the price as affordable as we can. Because if you look at it's brought up to me, Otacon's like 85 to get in. And we're still at 65. And we give you 2 concerts on Friday. And that's why Friday tickets are the most, because you're getting those 2 concerts as well. So. But we know it's tricky. That's why we've always had, like I said, we always have at least 10-15% growth. During the recession, we did have a year, but that's when everyone was hurting. So
That was the year you switched hotels, though, too. Right? I think that was also the year you switched hotels. I think
I don't know, because we've been in the Sheridan for Adams Mark for 10 years. So. But it's good to see more anime shows coming up, and that's why we like to come out these type of shows and promote ourselves, and vice versa. We have a convention alley where you can meet all the other conventions and all that. But there's a lot in Texas. So. And also, we try to keep the varied interest, and we're not just straight anime. That's why we have I can't remember her name, but the mayor of the nice lady who does the voice for the mayor of Ponyville.
Kathy Wesley.
Thank you, Kathy Wesley. We're having her coming out. Yes, yes. But also we have some more eclectic names. Yeah, like we have Harry Turtle Dove coming in. And if you know old sci-fi or historical sci-fi, Harry Turtle Dove is pretty up there. Then, of course, we change gears and we have like Rachel Kane, who's doing more of that paranormal romance stuff too. And then we go all the way over to webcomics folks. I don't know, are any of you familiar with Internet Abridgers? It takes the shows and then kind of condenses it.
T4 stuff.
What?
T4 stuff.
Yeah, we had them last year actually. This year we're having little. Yes. Sorry, see, I'm the gaming department. I can tell you everything. Gaming part. The other parts, I'm like, I don't have to worry about it if it catches fire. One of those things to say. Any other questions? Deep thoughts?
So for someone that's never been to A-Kon, what are some of the must-do?
Eat, drink. No, you say
Bring
that
food.
now because you're an older gentleman, you survived through life and you've learned those basic instincts. And I'm not picking on folks, but there's con-goers, they're young, it's their first year, they're like, oh my goodness, and they forget the basic necessities, and they don't sleep. Because we have a medical staff. And that is the biggest thing. It's like, what's because you're like, oh wow, what juicy stories you got. We deal with exhaustion. We deal with a lot of exhaustion.
What is the 6-2-1 rule?
What?
6-2-1 rule? 6 hours of sleep, 2 meals, and 1 shower?
Yeah.
One shower the whole time, yeah.
I have had friends taken to the hospital from dehydration at cons because they forgot to drink.
Yeah.
And they just got over the flu for the big
My first con, I survived on cans of lemonade and boxes of Pocky because that was all I had.
One year we were being, we had a lot of Pocky, I think they were a sponsor and they're giving it out. And we were just in the gaming booth and we were just 3 days straight. We didn't eat food.
Yeah,
So
I just had Pocky and
I hate Pocky!
Caffeine is not a substitute for food or sleep.
Yes. Would you be staying there or
Well, I was thinking about getting a room. I got laid off about 2 months ago, so now it's kind of like I was thinking I'm not, now maybe I'm thinking I will again.
Yeah, because traveling back and forth is doable. It's just parking. You have to pre-plan that. And that would be the biggest advice I'd give is pre-plan. Go online, find out what you want to go see, what you want to do. Be prepared to miss some of it.
Will you guys post the schedule in advance?
Yeah. Well, actually, we have an app that you can get on to iPhones and Androids. We're working on it. We're trying to. Programming grid's about finished. Actually, it's my department that's been a little slow on getting far. I'm admitting it, at least. I could be all like, someone messed it up.
Blame it on someone else.
I take ownership. I've been doing this too long. I can take the hit. That way, plan it out. Because if you just go in, you're just going to be wandering around for 3 days and go, solve a lot of stuff, but I can't tell you what I did.
yeah, and if you go on just Google, you can search anime convention checklist, and they will give you a detailed list of things that you never knew you needed, and you'll realize you didn't.
Just check the schedule, post the schedule ahead of time too.
But I can do the basic schedule, like right off the top of my head. Friday, a lot of milling around during the day. Let's go all the way back. Thursday is pre-reg. A lot of milling around, people trying to find stuff to do, even though we're not a 4-day con, people trying to force us. But we'll have the video rooms open and stuff like that. And then Friday, not much, we do have stuff during the day, but still, some people are getting from work and all that. The video rooms, the panels, all that's going on. But then Friday night is opening ceremony. Our illustrious con chair, Mary Davis, will welcome you all. Go over the guests, we do little skits and that. And then the bands come on. Then there's a dance. Then Saturday is a lot of anime, dealers, panels, gaming. And then that night is the cosplay. Huge cosplay. I think they've upped it to 70 entries. They will either do walk-ons and skits, and then there's another dance. And then Sunday is kind of the wind down day. There's still panels and so forth.
Just so there's no, well, if you plan to avoid things like the concerts or the cosplay show, you gotta get in, just be prepared to wait.
Yes,
Get there
there'll be a unfortunate thing. Like if you pick up your pre-reg bag Friday, there will be a line. Thursday, there'll be a line.
Yes.
Well, that just shows you how popular the gaming things is. And I haven't even talked about the sub-popular stuff. I just hit the high tentpole ones. Because then there's like the video game cosplay, there's the voice actor panels, there's the, I can't even remember half, the Rocky Horror and Repo, the genetic opera on, I forget what night. And eventually you'll run into things that you'll see, oh, I'm going to do it, and they're at the same time. It's only 3 hours. Then we are a 24-hour show. There's up to 2 most of the time.
I've been going to these for a long time, so I haven't tried to do it anymore. I remember when I was young, I would try to do everything, you know, and wear yourself out. Now I've learned that sometimes I commute, sometimes I stay there. If I stay there, I don't feel bad about spending an hour or two just resting in my room for a couple of times.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to go sit down.
If I was to get a room, when I was looking, I saw they had rooms in the tower and then in like the atrium. Which would there be a better choice or?
No.
Unless you're so spread out,
unless you have a preference in aesthetics, because they design the rooms differently.
Okay.
Because they've been going through remodel, and I remember some of our staff saw the different rooms, like, oh, I'm going to staff in that room. It looked different. I'm like, but no, there's not a big difference. They're all fairly nice. You know, bed, chair, table, bathroom, shower. They're fairly. Some of the, like I said, some of the kings have a fold-out couch. And like I said, I don't know how they figured that out.
It would say on
I don't know if they say you have to ask or something.
A lot of the big events, you don't really get a choice of room. You choose on the website when you get there. You don't necessarily
whatever
get
you
a choice.
get.
No, I wouldn't accept that though. If you get a specific room, especially if you're paying for that extra, you should get your. You know.
I'm just speaking from experience.
Yeah. No, does it fall apart? Yes. You shouldn't let the hotel get away with that. We never let the hotel get away with that.
So I went to A-Kon 2 weeks ago. I really wish I had gotten a room because I think I would have had it.
Yeah, because
Not having to worry about getting back home, you know.
Yeah, because even if you're like, oh, I'm just 30 minutes away, but oh wait, I stayed until about midnight. That's not too late. Oh, but I got a half-hour drive. And I'm gonna lie down, go to sleep, get up in the morning, do it all again.
Might have a couple of rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's
just a place to put your stuff.
Yeah.
Other than the trunk of your car.
That's true. Yeah. Oh, I got all this loot.
Well, the other problem is my daughter was ready to go home and I wasn't. So, would have been nice to say, go to the room, I'll be up there in a while.
It may happen opposite to you. You'd be all like, honey, I want to go to bed now. It's like, here's your room key, Daddy. Bye.
But now, when I went to A-Fest, and there were like people playing music, just sporadically here and there. Was that something that was set up in advance, or just?
No, that's a cultural thing. That you'll find certain cultural things that happen at the con. They only happen at cons.
like there were Nyan Cat lines for like 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
people
what?
would get backpacks with speakers in them, and they would dress up like Nyan Cat, the Pop-Tart cat.
Oh,
And they would get like this huge conga style line that would wrap around like the whole dealer's room, just
like
walking
in
around
Pop-Tart.
meowing like this.
Like one year, we don't like talking about it, but there's a couple of years there was the signs where people would come up with elaborate signs, but it became horrifically overblown. There were sign wars, and then the Dallas Police Department started sniffing around and going, oh wait, that's solicitation, because, well, not because just signs, but because also people would go, oh, I will give you a hug for Pocky, or I will glom you for Yahweh, and you're like, oh my goodness. And now, luckily though, it's toned down. I mean, for a while it was the, and now some of it is the bronies, because we're all like, Homestuck was one for years. I had to ask one of my younger friends, I know they're cosplaying, don't treat me dumb, but where are they coming from? It's a webcomic, like, yeah, webcomics.
Yeah.
Some kind, I don't know if A-Kon was, I don't remember, some will have like a designated party floor and a designated quiet floor, I don't know.
Hotels do that, and we try to encourage hotels to do that.
Because I've accidentally wound up on the party floor.
Yeah.
Trying to sleep or that stuff.
I just remember seeing there's a couple guys playing guitar, and there was probably 50 or 60 kids just sitting around listening, and I just thought it was really cool.
If you do YouTube, go on YouTube searches for A-Kon and do things like, I can't remember, but there's a couple of, there's Ring Around the Rosie's one of them they did, and they did the Duck Duck Goose.
Little Sally Walker.
Yes, Little Sally Walker. And I was like, why don't I ever see it? I'm like, oh, it's 5 in the morning. That's my sleep time.
I've already gotten one past the Maid Cafe. That's a good place to go to relax. Features will get taken easy.
A little weird, but that's because I'm an older gentleman, so I do not feel comfortable doing that. Nothing.
You don't feel comfortable doing the don't sell anymore?
No, the maid cafe that he brought up.
Oh, the maid?
Yeah, because
What's that?
it's a Japanese thing. And it's very up and up, but it's a bunch of young girls dressed up in maid outfits, and they wait on you.
Oh.
And they treat you nice. And you can have tea with them, you can play games with them, like Munchkin or card games or whatever. You know, have little snacks, and it's just a nice day thing. Very Japanese, but me being an old American guy, I'm like, oh, no, they're bad.
It's mostly Jenga, and
What?
then they sing and dance.
Yeah, they do a little.
They do performance.
I wanted to go to it, but I always ended up going to a panel because there are just so many things to do. I didn't want to sit down and relax.
Yeah. That's the other thing too, for me at the con, I'm working, I'm like, yeah, having a relaxing time.
Yeah. I don't want to relax.
But that's one of the many unique things that we have there. But it's fine, there's nothing wrong with it. I just, like I said, it's a little phobia.
Well, I think that's what Phillies get a different experience out of.
You here to learn about A-Kon, or are you here for the next band?
I can be here for anything you want.
Oh.
I'm getting recorded.
Uh-oh, wait a minute. I don't know anything about Bernie stuff, don't record me.
We can edit as much as you want.
Edited. Yes, I love brownies. What the? It's not the word I used at all. Well, I'm here promoting A-Kon, the country's longest running anime convention. What's the lady's name again? The Spike, the mayor of
Kathy Westlock.
What?
Kathy Westlock?
Yeah, we'll have Kathy Westlock out. She's the one of our many guests, but she's the Brony specific one. So.
What other guests will you be having at A-Kon this year?
Who are we not having?
That's true. Good question. Let's review.
We have a couple of Japanese bands. We have Existence. It's spelled funny. And then the other band, I can't remember the name because it's N-E-T-L-R-D or something like that. And they're both heavily Visual K, so if you're familiar with Visual K, so they got that great heavier rock sound with all the elaborate costumes and all that. And of course, we're going to have our voice actors, everyone from Vic Magnana to an interesting one is Lisa Wilkerson. She's actually from Japan, but she's a 6 foot tall blonde lady. And because she grew up in Japan, and she was the one that all the Japanese folks would go to do the English voice acting. She actually did some of the voices like Nia and Tekken and all that. And they go, oh, we need an English voice. So instead of flying someone from America, they had her do it. So she has an interesting history because everyone knows all the American voice actors, but she's a voice actress from Japan who's American that no one knows because, well, she's on the other side. So. And of course, we have a lot of the artists coming out. One from Renee DeLiz is coming out. She's actually, if you're on the comic book side of things, and you guys can stop me. I'm not just playing to them because I realize, I can talk about the stuff of the show. If you have any questions, feel free to mock me. But Renee DeLiz, on the comic book side, she helped found Womanthology. That was the Kickstarter campaign that went well over. Featured a lot of, featured female artists and writers and creators, and so much so that IDW picked them up, distributed the book, and now they have regular miniseries about it. I think the current one they're on is Womanthology Space. The big one they released was Womanthology Heroic. So we have her and her husband actually coming out. So that's just some of the artists. Like I was mentioning them, our writers, we definitely get old school, like Harry Turtle Dove, Elizabeth Moon. So if you're into old sci-fi novels, because we have a healthy writing track that these people don't do anime at all, but we find that the kids and the comic goers love anything creative. We have so much there. Anyone have any questions before I keep going on and on about 30-minute commercial? No? What? Oh, because she's recording? Yeah, but mainly we're going over the new stuff with everybody because we're in the new location.
Where is the new location this year?
It is the Hilton Anatole. It's off of 35. You can Google it pretty easy, but the cheat I give is it's near the medieval times.
Oh, okay, very cool.
But that also means that Dark has a train and a bus that gets pretty close to it. Quite Con's been out there, so if you're a gaming nerd. We take up much more than they do. Not competing, yes I am, because I'm the gaming guy at the show, so we're really proud that we're taking up more space than they are. How many people are going course here? No question.
Well, you're in the gaming.
Yes.
Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
I've only been to a couple cons, but I've seen the gaming area.
Yes.
And I've always been a little apprehensive to go in. Just,
Well,
everybody's having so much fun.
that's kind of the point. You're apprehensive of fun.
Down.
You're afraid of fun, sir. I can't help you.
No, I don't know how it works. I mean, is there a line you get into? Do you take a number? I mean,
No, honestly, you just go in. You can ask just anybody at our shows. You can ask because the old joke is with our staff is it's like we sit down at our gaming desk, we get ready to tell everyone everything. The question we get asked is, "Where's the bathroom?" So we're used to that. So no, we can just go in and play. Like our console room, we have tournaments. We want the hardcore guys that are they're hopped up on ADD and they kill you 20 times where you can figure out the controls. Yes, we have those. If you just want to sit down and play, we have that too. We have one of the most fun things. We have battle pods. They're full cockpit simulators of you in a mech. And trust me, no one's an expert in that except the people who own them and run them and have the regular session. Because everyone else is all like, how do I do this? Oh, Also in the traditional gaming area where we have the board games and the card games. Yes, again, we have tournaments. But there's people there sitting there like, I learn how to play a game, I'll teach you. We have a whole staff that'll sit there and go, got a board game, want to learn, we'll play. It's no big deal. It's just come in and say entertainment. That's the whole show is you just go in there, entertainment. It's just the problem is you have so much.
There's always a lot of people in there. It's like I walk in, I don't know where to start.
Just see something that interests you and ask them, hey, can you teach me this? Or hey, can I play this? We can only help you so much. If you're shy, A-Kon is not for shy people. Well, it is for some shy people.
Without that, we can't outside of A-Kon.
Yeah. You can hide with A-Kon, be very shy, but you need, And we have had so many people that learn new things like Dungeons and Dragons, is considered a bit of an older thing. But people sit down, the D&D folks will teach you. You go, wow, we have a lot of young kids. Oh, wow, that's so awesome. That's what we do for 3 days straight. And that's for any of the events. Just wander into a room. If you're not supposed to be there, they'll tell you very rarely. Everyone's more than happy to oh, I don't know about this, because that's why we have the sword fighting. We'll have Mothos, which is the phone-based ones like Nero and Vanguard. Anyone's familiar with that? That's more. What? Yeah, LARPing. I won't get into LARPing, a different version of LARPing because it's too old to deal with that. But yeah, we will have that. Everything from simple dice games to Settlers of Catan. Everyone loves stuff like that. So just walk into a room and look one thing. Just wander into a panel room, Any other questions? Oh, we got 10 more minutes. Home stretch, folks. Yes, sir.
Is there plenty of parking in that area? Yeah, I'm just confused. I don't usually stay. Is there plenty of parking around that hotel?
Yeah, there is, but it's going to get full. But that's just the nature of our attendance. So, yeah. And honestly, we're gonna try to talk to other places and parking there and all that. But so check before you park anywhere. Make sure it's not a tow zone or maybe not invented. And I wish I could say more. Just like I said, it's so big. Parking's going to need no matter what.
So if I get my badge here today, then I'm gonna have to go to registration or anything.
Yeah, you don't have to pre-reg. You have to go through the pre-reg line to get your stuff.
It'll all be paid for, obviously.
Yeah, you just get there and we give you a program book. We give you your lanyard and badge. in your panel schedule, which wait till you see, because not picking on them, but you don't have the Brony-Fest's panel schedule. No, I just wanted to hold it down. This is what it looks like. No, this is fine. Ours is on 11 by 17. One like 8-point font, 6.5, something like that. And really, there's a trick to read, and it's front and back too. And we have like front and back.
That's for one day.
That's for one day, yes. That doesn't cover everything. That's usually just for the panels.
So you know, I mean, there's like 3 tracks on there. How many total tracks there are going on? I mean, it's in a dozen or a couple of guesses.
Let's see, there's the industry track. There's the gaming track. There's the voice actor track. Fandom track. We actually have the academic track this year. We have a group called Fans. I forget what its full name is, or what the acronym stands for, but we're actually doing an academic conference during the show.
What do you mean by track?
I'm sorry, programming tracks are what lines of similar programming you might be interested in. Like saying, oh, I want to learn about writing, or hear the writers talk. That's called a track, to where for 3 days straight, and we kind of split them up like that. Oh, you want the cosplay track, which is exhaustive. Learn how to play with very dangerous chemicals to bond your phone, to make these perfect props, to how to make the outfits, to how to get into character, even. Because you know, some people, if you see them do the cosplay, they do that pose, or whatever. Some people get it down where they can do the character, the voice, and all that. And you have to class for that. To show you how on the far extreme, because of how big everything has gotten, there's a geek speed dating. I'm assuming you don't need that. You have a daughter, but you know, for other people. Well, also, we have a couple of panels on how to talk to girls, how to talk to boys. Because it just got to a point where, you know, yeah, funny joke, how awkward, and they're like, no, we should at least, you know, step up a little and explain things about social interaction. You would think it would be an obvious thing, but no, everyone's growing up and the hormones and all that. So, but that shows you how much thought goes into the panel schedule.
So the point is, there's a good chance that there might be one thing going on at a time that you might want to see.
Yeah, that's always.
That's just the nature of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta pick which one is.
Yes. Or you don't have to go to anything. You just wander around people.
Yeah.
If you're a photographer, and you know, like cosplay photography, you'll stay busy the whole week.
Yeah, we actually have a room for photography where people go and schedule time in that, because it just became such a traffic nightmare. And of course, still people do it. But we were like, here's your photo room.
I remember with like the early days, you could say, hey, I got a picture of all the cosplayers.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just, you can just keep shooting the whole time.
My running gag is just like, I go looking for pictures of myself at the show, and I find myself like that because there'd be cosplayers here, and I'd either be going, or this one.
When do you think they're gonna publish the schedule?
Schedule?
Yeah. The event schedule.
As soon as me and another department get all their stuff in. The deadline's next week, so
So within a few weeks.
hopefully so. I'm sure the scheduling staff is going, no, David, we don't have it. Not ready for publishing. No, we've been obviously being more and more proactive, so hopefully we should have it pretty soon. But all the main, you can always go to the website and all the main stuff, we always mention as much as possible, like the video game cosplay. We just updated because what we had, NIS is coming out for some prizes, but the guests, we mentioned all the little things. So the A-Kon's the website's a pretty good resource. And we also have a Facebook page, we have a Twitter page, we have a Formspring page, we have a DeviantArt page, and I'm sure we have some others down there. I mean, networking gets so crazy, like people go around with their DSs and they make new friends with that. They're all like, hey, come here. That's how we're done.
I need to find out how to do it. I need to find out how to do that.
Any other questions? What about you two lovely people who just walked in? Are you here to learn about A-Kon?
What other special events will be there other than the panels? Is there any particular something new this year?
Not too new. We're saving everything for our 25th anniversary, which is next year. And this is our new hotel, so we're not going crazy just yet. Because we got to figure out where everything is, too. No, seriously, we've been doing tours since the end of A-Kon 3 to figure out where we're at. I've been there like 6-8 times, just walking around, looking at things, all that. Not trying to scare people, but I'm trying to encourage them. Like, yes, we're going to have so much stuff. But yeah, besides that, though, we're going to, stick with the traditional stuff. Everything. We'll have the video rooms. We'll have the dances. I don't know if we're trying to bring the masquerade back. That's not my department. I know we tried it a few times. We'll have multiple dances, the concerts, the cosplay, all the gaming tournaments, maid cafe, the food courts, the meetups, the doll A-Kon, the sleeping samurai, toy pond. That has nothing to do with anything.
Oh, I'm impressed with the pond.
What?
You're impressed with the pond.
Yes, I am. Oh no, the funny joke is everyone figured out how much koi cost. Because we have to assume the worst. Not that we think badly of people, but it's always the bad apples who cause, and you gotta. Oh my God, the fish are gonna disappear. We're gonna have koi sushi. It's the most expensive sushi ever. And I'm trying not to mention other things like there's an outdoor pool, and it has a walk-up bar in the pool. I don't really want to advertise that too much. Not that I want it all for myself. I just don't want to find, people be out there in the pool and get their drinks. This is a really lovely space, and that's actually out in their park.
Kind of says something about how long you've been doing this, that your mind goes to that.
Yeah. Kind of have to. At first, you're thinking, I still laugh, but when our staff took our first tour, everyone was in love with the place. They're like, oh, look at all this space, look at all this thing. And I'm like, no, it's horrible. Why? So much space, so much traffic problems. People are going to get lost, too much to break. It's all bad. I was just playing devil's advocate. It is an amazing thing. We're all really enthusiastic about it. Unfortunately, though, for some of us, again, being pessimistic, everyone's like, yay, 24. I'm like, we got 25 coming up. We're old. We have to figure out how to do silver anniversary stuff. And the girl said, no, I couldn't get them all to wear silver space sci-fi stuff from the 60s. Like, no, David, silver doesn't go with anything. I think it goes with everything. They said no. But we've been branching out because we've been doing new stuff. Like we did micro A-Kon in December last year. Then we did mini A-Kon. And actually, those are my stupid ideas. I joke about that. It is fun, but it's become like mini A-Kon just started as a thing. It was the Denton Public Library goes, hey, we want to have a A-Kon. I'm like, yeah, sure, that's cute. A little thing. And so we had our 6th one this year. Well, I can't remember which one we're on. But we had like 3,000 people. And all of them were like, this is not mini anymore. Oh wait, that's what we have micro for. We have to keep making them smaller. Well, and that one we do totally free. But that's because we have a library. They understand all that crazy socialism stuff, free money and things. But we like doing that because at the end of the day it's in the fans. Because I actually got chewed out by the boss one day. I'm like, here, you can buy your tickets here, your passes there. She's like, no, David, they are memberships. Because you are buying a membership into a community. And I'm like, yes, you're totally correct. When I'm doing this stuff by the seat of my pants, you're lucky I'm not calling it hockey. Because that sells better. But that is our core philosophy at the end of the day. It's always been about fans. It always will be about fans. Will we make all the fans happy all the time? No. We try our darndest. And so that's why we're a little crazy. It's like I used to have this gray in my beard. But, I do amongst our staff. No, children. Because it will be my 24 will be my 17th year on staff. Yeah. Well, I got my 15-year plaque. I cried, not out of joy. but out of horrid realization. And that's, that's why we do it at the end of the day. It is just, it's fun. And we like giving the community, because everyone enjoys it. That's why we love these things. So I think that's my final say. Unless anyone has any other questions, I'm going back to the booth and trying to sell memberships into our community.